purpose of this is a murder for hire. Why was the murder carried out in the least efficient way possible? And it looked more like anger and rage than somebody who came to take life very efficiently and escape without notice. There were the inconsistencies with the state's theory of the case that this was a murder for hire, and I still believe Mr. Sievers is innocent, and I'll go to my grave believing that. It just didn't make sense. That and the fact that Curtis Wayne Wright was a known liar, and the jury knew it, and yet I think some of the photos of Dr. Sievers were some of the worst photos I've ever seen, and I think at the end of the day, and this is just me speculating here, that the jury was moved to either anger or sympathy over the manner in which Dr. Sievers was murdered.
If I may just have a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned what you referred to as gruesome autopsy photos and crime scene photos. You actually attempted to get those excluded from evidence, right?
Yes.
And you were not successful with that.
I was not. So it was my theory. There was no question that she was dead. There was no question that she was murdered. There was no question about the manner in which she was murdered. The question was Mr. Sievers, was he the mastermind? Was did he orchestrate this? And ultimately the gruesome autopsy photos didn't advance the state's theory that yes, he was the one who orchestrated that. If there was some evidence that, hey, Mr. Sievers says, hey, I want you to go and murder my wife with a hammer, and that's how it happened, okay, I can see the relevance there. But it wasn't. And so the sole purpose of the gruesome crime scene photos and autopsy photos was to prejudice the jury against my client.
Rogers never offered to testify in Sievers' case, is that correct?
That's correct. Well, he may have after the fact. I don't know if he has since, but at the time of Mr. Sievers' trial, he had not. Okay.
So when you were preparing for the trial, you never heard from either Mr. Rogers or Ms. Fitzgeorge that, hey, Mr. Rogers is willing to testify in an effort to help Mr. Sievers?
No, I would have remembered that, and I would have taken Ms. Fitzgeorge up on that.
Okay. One of your themes was that Dr. Sievers was worth more alive than she was dead. Is that correct?
100% yes.
And you tried to discredit the state's murder for hire theory.
Yes.
You tried to show that the murder was not committed for pecuniary gain.
And I was successful in that.
Yes, the jury ultimately did not find that aggravator, correct?
Yes.
When I asked you about the time that you spent on Mark Sievers' case, you said you couldn't even begin to estimate. I mean, if you had to, how many hours do you think you spent on his case?
I mean, given everything, I mean, over 1,000 hours, and it's not even really close. Just you know, looking at the evidence, preparing, going to court, seeing Mr. Sievers in the jail. It was a very, very time-intensive case.
Okay. Did you also have Mr. Al Olson working with you?
I did.
And he was part of your defense team?
We had Mr. Olson as our private investigator, yes.
Okay. And does a Mr. Tom Matthews ring a bell?
Yes, Mr. Matthews was, I believe, an accountant.
Okay. And he would have been someone that you possibly consulted with?
I believe we did, just to kind of look over the Sievers finances, and everything indicated that the Sievers family was doing well financially. It looked like they were more spenders than savers, but they lived a nice lifestyle. They did the things they wanted to do. They bought the things that they wanted to buy, and as far as I could tell, all of their bills were getting paid, and the Sievers family was not in any dire financial trouble.
You mentioned that you felt that Mr. Wright was infatuated, or I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, did you mention that Mr. Wright was infatuated with Mr. Sievers?
I believed he was, yes.
Okay. Sorry about that. I couldn't remember at the time. Okay. So why did you believe that he was infatuated with Mr. Sievers?
So there were some text messages that just heterosexual friends don't send to each other. You know, like little pet names and things like that. That just, it kind of struck me as this may have been a relationship that, you know, maybe Mr. Wright may have wanted something more out of the relationship.
Sievers never admitted to you that he had a relationship with Mr. Wright, though, correct?
He did not, no.
Okay. And are you aware that he actually denied having a relationship during his evaluation with Dr. Underwood?
Yes.
But you were aware that there were potentially some allegations that there was a relationship there?
Just the text messages. Just there were some text messages about, hey there, sunshine, is it up? Referring to like morning erections. It just, you know, just kind of bizarre.
Did you choose not to focus on that information and have the jury hear that information?
I did.
And why was that?
Well, a couple reasons. One, it was my belief that Mr. Sievers wanted to effectuate his constitutional right to remain silent. And for me to really get into that, that would have required Mr. Sievers' testimony. Also, I don't know how a jury is going to take that evidence. And if you're not sure, and you're the defense, and you know that the state carries the burden of proof, then you're not going to introduce a new element into the trial that, you know, if there are people on the jury who are homophobic, maybe they hold that against Mark. Maybe they judge Mark based on homophobia and not on the facts and the law.
In addition to possibly having a bias against being homophobic, would it potentially introduce a motive that may not have existed in their minds before?
It absolutely could have. It absolutely could have. And so it just, it ultimately, it didn't make sense to, to just introduce something that I don't know how the jury's going to take it, and I don't know if it could actually make my case worse.
So that was a strategic decision by you not to introduce that evidence and proceed on a theme of that sort,
Yes,
that there was a sexual relationship.
yes,
All right. During the deposition a few weeks ago, you cried. Is that correct?
yes. Thank you.
That wasn't the first time that you cried about this case, was it?
No,
You care very much about Mr. Sievers,
I do.
and you care about his case.
I do.
You followed what was going on with his direct appeal.
Yes.
You watched his Florida Supreme Court argument.
No, I actually believe I had court at that time that conflicted with that.
You didn't travel to Tallahassee to?
No.
Okay.
I did not.
But you did
I followed it.
follow his case. And you feel that you did everything you can to represent him adequately
I do. I also feel like I failed.
because you didn't get the result that you were hoping for.
Yes.
If I may just have a moment, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.